Right, Marvin, what is this?
So, it turns out, Kathleen Kennedy and all of her people have been hyping this James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi Star Wars movie as coming down the pipe. Oh, this is happening, guys. This is happening. Well, James Mangold's schedule is starting to fill up. And none of that is Star Wars. So we just got word that he is doing some big mystery secret project at Netflix. He has also got a biopic that he's doing for 20th Century Fox, and he's doing Swamp Thing for Warner Brothers DC. Not a lot of time in there to dedicate to a Star Wars project, I would say. So the Insider revealed Mangold is developing this project with Netflix. It's a secretive, family-friendly film reportedly based on a book. It's being produced as a change of pace from some of his grittier, more R-rated stuff. Notably, Netflix project is not tied to Crenshaw, which was previously announced and stalled since 2017, but it's something new. But this is coming down. So now he's got 4 high-profile projects, and this is what we see. This is the Lucasfilm pattern, right? They announce a movie. They attach a director to it. We hear nothing about it. All of a sudden, that director starts doing other things, or the writers, they'll start writing other things, taking on other projects. And then eventually, they just stop talking about the Star Wars project. This is the Kathleen Kennedy playbook. We don't know for sure that Dawn of the Jedi is out, but this is following the playbook to a T.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's happening with Rian Johnson's new trilogy?
Rian Johnson's trilogy, Taika Waititi's movie, Kevin Feige's movie. They full on, I think, canceled Rogue Squadron with Patty Jenkins. Benioff and Weiss, the Game of Thrones guys, they were supposed to do something, and then all of a sudden they were focusing on their Netflix stuff. It's just they announce because it gives them a little boost in the trades for a little bit. It's all about short term, word of mouth. People could be like, "Oh, they announced a Rey movie," and then they're hoping you just forget that it was ever announced. Because it just never happens.
Yeah.
What must they be like to work with?
They're terrible. Like, Lucasfilm is awful.
Mm-hmm.
This is hilarious. This is so funny because they didn't mention anything about this at the latest celebration either, did they?
They did not. No, I don't believe they did. They were hyping up Mandalorian and Grogu because that is the thing that's actually happening, because Jon Favreau is going to make sure that it happens. And it's already filming and everything. But yeah, he was so smug about this. He was like, I wanted to go back to the very beginning because I don't want to be handcuffed by all this canon, all that pesky Star Wars canon, all that pesky George Lucas stuff. God, thank goodness you can just reshape that from the very beginning. The Dawn of the Jedi is a story that they have told both in the old EU and they've told it in the new continuity. So it's unclear what this movie would even be if it gets made. But also keep in mind, why Lucasfilm would ever want to work with this man again is beyond me, because he's the director of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, the worst, most heinous Lucasfilm flop of all time.
But the thing is, Lucasfilm knows that wasn't his actual fault. Like, Lucasfilm knew what they wanted to do with that movie. Lucasfilm doesn't let people do what they want, right? It's the same as Marvel. They don't let people do what they want. They just get directors for hire. That's all they are. So maybe that's how it is. Why? Huh?
I was going to say maybe that's how it is now, but I mean, the problem with the sequel trilogy was that they let Rian Johnson do whatever he wanted. And they let JJ do whatever he wanted. And they exerted no control over the sequel trilogy. They had no plan, and maybe now they're overcorrecting. I don't know, because they went into that by the seat of their pants and just let these 2 directors play tug of war with the most important film trilogy of our lifetime. But yeah, I have heard though the same thing though, Nate, that nowadays she is far more involved in everything. She's approving all the scripts. She's giving them ideological things that they have to insert into everything. I've heard the same thing.
Well, it'd be funny if this becomes one of those things that, I mean, this was announced in 2023. Look at that. I mean, that's mad, isn't it? 2023 it was announced. We're in 2025 already. It'll be hilarious if this continues on, like if it goes on for like another 2 years where we don't really hear much about it again. Like it's consigned to history. It's consigned to the history books, just like the other the other movies where they just quietly shelve them without saying anything. I love that Luke. I mean, it's funny. I don't love it from like I don't actually love it, but from a comedic perspective, I love that Lucasfilm does this. They announce all these big movies and then they just don't mention them again.
Never. They just hope Rey movie. What Rey movie? What are you talking about? We never announced a Rey movie. We never brought Daisy Ridley out on stage and showed her around with this activist director.
Just this like weird form of gaslighting. And they're like, yeah, no, it's not. What? But they don't even gaslight. They just ignore it. They're just like, no, it's not happening. It's fine. Like, what? We're never going to mention it again. Don't worry about it, bro.
Years ago, back when Kathy was still allowed to, like, you know, appear before people without the risk of her being booed out of the building, they had this big screen behind her with all of the various Lucasfilm things that were coming out. And I just love to see like the images where people like take them and they like cross out the ones that never happened, or they mark the ones that bombed when they did come out. Like, it is just her legacy is just non-stop failure, the most evergreen property in the history of film, and they destroyed it.
I know, it's so funny.
A new Star Wars thing just came out on May 4th, the Tales of the Underworld, and literally no one talked about it.
Yeah.
No one.
Well, what do you reckon? Oh, Culture, what's your thoughts on this?
I'm looking forward to the Rey movie, and
this isn't the Rey movie, but all right.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm any attention at all.
I'm looking forward to Dan and Dave's trilogy. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I'm looking forward to Tony Gilroy's film. There's this up and comer from the documentary film side called some kind of chin boy or something. That chick supposedly is really good at catching people, you know, doing things in like Afghanistan or something. So I think that's perfect for Star Wars. I think what?
I love you, man.
Yeah. Look, Mangold, I now hate. I used to think he was fine. I think he used to make some good things, and then he decided good things. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. Let me go ahead and serve up some Disney Lucasfilm slop. Oh, first let's destroy, you know, the Indiana Jones dude with the hat. Yeah, I don't like that hat guy. You know, my bald pate can't rock a hat anyway because I look like a giant dome. This guy's a tool, and he's a liar, and I think that's what fans really hate most about him is he just lies.
He blamed the fans for Indiana Jones bombing.
Yeah, and he brought in the PB buttered and sandwich, whatever her name is, the chick that's either a wall or a bridge. She can't figure it out.
Yeah, I think that was a stork wearing a pantsuit.
There you go. Regardless, none of it's going to work, and you know, I hope but you know what? Mangold could actually put the death cap on Star Wars. I mean, like, you know, normally, you know, we're counting on Dave Filoni to put the coins over the eyes of Star Wars, but I think the death shroud is coming in the form of James Mangold. You know, and then they're going to have to put Star Wars away for a while, and then there's nothing else that comes out of Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm will officially be dead. Can't wait for that. I've been saying Star Wars is dead for years, but you know, apparently
people really liked Andor.
Sure, who?
But that's over.
Who?
A lot of people liked it. Like, even people in our space liked it.
Okay, when you say a lot of people, you mean 8. There were 8 people in our sphere that liked it. 8.
Because nobody. I still haven't watched the second one.
The first season was not great. And like anything else out of Disney, it might start off with 2 or 3 episodes that you can tolerate, but by the time you get to the end, you hate yourself for watching it because it's that bad by the time you get to the end of it. Well, then I don't know what to tell you. You apparently appreciate dullards and doldrums and all kinds of other D words.
I mean, you don't like dog soldiers, so
Hey, I am on the right side of history on that one, pal.
No, you're absolutely not. Everyone's
I
going to
am
flame you.
not.
in the
No,
comments
this is
right
terrible. It's
now. Everyone in
terrible.
the comments, culture does not like dog
Dude, it
soldiers.
was like,
Actually,
hey,
think
it
dog
was it
soldiers
wasn't
are
dog
terrible.
soldiers. I guess technically it was like Great Dane soldiers that are pretending to be werewolves during this.
Great Danes are
Maybe,
dogs.
yeah, whatever.
Terrible freaking.
You saying Great Danes aren't dogs?
No, I know. I did say that. I did correct
King of
myself. They
dogs.
were dogs. Yeah. No, well, king, dude. They can't run or walk. They literally fall
They
apart
don't
over time.
they don't have to.
How long is their lifetime? 8 years. Yeah.
I don't know culture. I'm not an expert on dogs. I don't. I'm not a veterinarian.
Okay. Yeah. But are you a gynecologist? So anyway.
Well, not professionally, just as a hobby.
There you go.
Right. Anyway, whatever.
No, nobody's looking forward to this that's in their right mind. And to let this insane person who destroyed Indy loose on a Star Wars property is courting not only disaster, but destruction in its entirety. So,
How much damage is he really going to do, though? I mean, how much more damage is there left to do? It's a dead brand.
35 people are going to not go and see this, and that's it. They might get one. Kathy might go see her own movie. I don't know. We'll see.
She doesn't pay, though.
No.
She gets a comp.
Thinking Heretic says the best Star Wars character will be revealed by Culture Casino when he gets enough subs. Leia, the Jedi dancing bear.
That's actually happening, just so you know.
Okay. Gross.
When I get to 100 key.
Gross. Actually disgusting, but all right.
100 kilo.
All right, cool. Well, let's move on from this. Got